Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is the 8th day of spring today, and everything has been going very well in the start of year 4. It's pretty early in the season, but I've done lots on the farm to get it back up and running after our cold winter. And looking at the calendar here, you can see that there are going to be some events that are worth showing off later on in the month. We have the Sheep Festival, the Horse Festival, and the Crop Festival upcoming. And for this year, I think what I've decided to do is just to show those festivals off to see what kind of wonderfuls that we get. Whereas festivals that are the same every single year, I'm going to sort of skip from this point on and keep playing, because as time goes on in this game and I have less and less to do and less new things to tell everybody about, it makes it a little bit more difficult to have content for these videos. So if I'm not stopping because I feel like I have to show off a festival, then it just gives me more time to get more things done. Last year in year 3, I did show off regular festivals where we weren't winning any wonderfuls because it was the first year that we were married to the Witch Princess. And some of these festivals had some really funny results and some very funny dialogue because we were married to her, such as the Harvest Goddess Festival that took place today. So I'm hoping that everybody is okay with that decision. I want to sort of avoid repetition as much as possible going forward, and I don't want these videos to sort of feel just like filler or feeling like I have to cover every little thing when, for the most part, I think I've covered a vast amount of things within these videos. So in this video, I am going to show off the farm and talk about what I've been doing for the first week of spring. And I do have some notes here as well. But one of the things that I had completely forgotten about as we entered into year 4 was that the rival marriage candidates can start to get married in year 4 or later. So as I was going about playing, minding my own business, I was running into these rival events, and we actually have a wedding tomorrow. So what I decided to do was I decided to make save states to watch the proposal events between the different rival candidates, and then after that we will watch the weddings between these characters. I do believe I have put some of the rival events in previous videos, but I know I haven't done that with all of them. So if they haven't been included in any of these actual videos, I have separate videos for all of those events, which I will upload later in case anybody is feeling really confused. So that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm just going to take a moment to load an older save that I have, which was all the way actually on the second day of spring, and it hit me pretty soon after I started playing in year 4 that, right, yes, our rival candidates can get married. So here we have the proposal event between Julia and Elliot. Julia? What is it, Elliot? Well, it's just that, well... What is it? Julia, will you marry me? Marry you? I may not be the most reliable guy, but I'm confident that I can give you a good life. Not here, you're embarrassing me. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm really sorry. My goodness, you're always apologizing. You really should do something about that. From here on out, I'll be by your side to make sure you fix that habit. Then that means... You said you'll make me happy, right? Well, I'm already happy. Thank you, Elliot. So there you go. This was the last Harvest Moon game that they had rival marriage candidates actually get married in. And so, because the proposal event happened on the second day of spring, their wedding will take place a week afterwards, which is exactly how our own wedding works. And of course, it's not going to happen on a festival day or during a storm or something like that. So that is something just to be made aware of if you've triggered a proposal event, to pay attention to the date that the proposal happens on, because the wedding is going to be first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up. And you might not be prepared for that, of course, because you have stuff on the farm to do. You have animals to look after and crops to water. So a wedding taking place might kind of take you by surprise. So that's why I had started the video off on the night of the 8th, because we are going to see the wedding on the morning of the 9th. So now I'm back on the 8th. Let's just go to bed and watch this wedding take place. It's pretty exciting that some other people besides us are getting married. Good morning, Nick. Julia and I are going to have our wedding today. I'd really like you to come. Wow, thank you. Julia will be happy to see you. We are gathered here on this most joyous of days to witness the marriage of Elliot and Julia. Elliot, do you swear to love and cherish Julia? I do. Julia, do you swear to love and cherish Elliot? Yes, of course I do. Then I now pronounce you husband and wife. May the harvest goddess bless this happy couple. Thank you all for coming to celebrate with us today. I'm so glad to see so many people celebrating with us. Thank you, everyone. And even the harvest goddess will peek in on the rival weddings, not just our own. So the wedding ceremonies for every rival couple is very, very similar, and they're very similar to your own wedding. That format is pretty much identical to what would happen if you were to marry a regular marriage candidate. Now, in my case, because I married Witch Princess, my wedding looked a little bit different. But most people get married at the church in the daytime and have everybody there. And the harvest goddess shows up to sort of bless the wedding. So as you can see, that ate up an entire day, which kind of stinks because it really kind of sets you back. That was a whole day of not being able to water my crops or feed the animals, and those are all things to sort of take into consideration. You want to make sure that if you have a greenhouse or you have trees or anything like that, nothing is going to get too screwed up by missing out on an entire day's worth of playing. I'm not sure why Witch Princess has an orange heart. What have I done to make her so angry? She had a red heart yesterday. I wonder if it's because I skipped out on going to the Harvest Goddess festival because I didn't even bother going, and maybe she's mad that I didn't go. I'm not too sure. Anyways, I wanted to show that off in a video, just show off that the rival weddings are pretty much the same as our own, except for you don't have to sit through the credits. And once a couple is married, really nothing changes. The dialogue will change for some of the married couples, and one of the spouses will move. So in the case of when Elliot and Julia get married, Julia actually moves into Elliot's house, which to me doesn't really make sense because the house is already sort of cramped. There's so many people in here. You'd think Elliot would move across the road to live with Julia and Mirabel, but that is not the case. So now you'll find Julia at Elliot's house, and her schedule will change a little bit. You can see that they have some different dialogue as well. In this game, they do not have children. There are no rival marriage children, unfortunately, so that isn't something that happens at all. It's just us, basically, with a baby. We're the only ones that have a baby in this game, so I have also triggered the proposal for Pierre and Natalie, and I have a save state for that as well. So I will get everything prepared to watch their proposal and wedding for the next video that I do. And now that that's all said and done, we can finally talk about the farm. And as I said, everything is going pretty well. I'm trying to ship 100 cucumbers and 100 potatoes total so that we can unlock a new crop by doing that. So I've grown lots and lots of potatoes. You can see that my first harvest here is ready. I have 3 plots of cucumbers, which should be enough because cucumbers replenish, of course. And then I also have some strawberries up here on the top. I did grow turnips down in these bottom 3 spaces to begin with, but then I figured it was probably a better idea to put potatoes down here, so we'll have some more potatoes coming in. I didn't bring my animals in, unfortunately. They've been sitting in the rain, but they're okay. I might reload from the 8th day of spring and put the animals inside the barn if I really need to, but it looks like they're all happy. You can see that the barn animals all have fully grown grass to munch on, which is wonderful. That means I can leave them out here, and I don't have to hand feed them fodder, which is great. I have gotten my rice paddy all filled up, so I've put the rice seeds in. Now we just have to be patient and basically wait until the end of summer-ish for those to all be ready for us to get some more rice. And the orchard is fine as well. You can see that the grape tree has finally grown. It has taken forever, which means that the only 2 small trees we have left are some apple trees that I had replanted after losing them last year. And then we have our banana trees with flowers, and we have our peach and our orange trees with flowers. And we will be able to get some fruit from them in the summertime, which is wonderful. I'm hoping we'll be able to get our sunstone for our summer fruit trees as well. And then, of course, in the greenhouse, nothing has changed. I've just continued on with yams because it's low maintenance, it's very easy to look after, and yams are still pretty profitable. The only pain is having to go somewhere else to refill my watering can. I find that to be very annoying because there is nowhere in here to fill up on water, and I can only water about 4 of these squares before I need to go refill my watering can. So sometimes it takes 2 trips, but I can alternate watering those as well. Water one half one day and the other half the next day. And then I also decided to use my hoe to till all of these squares. And the only reason I did that was just to protect it from having as many weeds and stones and branches. Now obviously that's not foolproof because you can see that there's still some stuff in the field. But it has helped with the amount of weeds and stuff that have been showing up on my land, which is actually quite nice. I rearranged some of my wonderfuls on my tools, so now I have a hoe that does a 3x3 square, which made tilling the rice paddy and also fixing up my field there a lot easier, a lot faster, and a lot more efficient. I haven't spent a lot of money because there's just nothing really to spend money on. But what I did do was I purchased some better tools. I've got the hoe and the hammer with room for 6 different wonderfuls. I also increased my sickle's capacity. I had a 3-slot sickle. I now have a 5-slot. I have a 6-slot watering can. The only thing I haven't replaced is my axe, but 5 slots for the axe should be plenty. I don't think I'm going to use any more wonderfuls than what I have on it currently. And that wasn't really expensive because you can sell the old tools to Chen and make some of your money back. Coming over to the maker shed now, I finally am able to get another sunstone. This time we can get it from our seed maker. From the yams in the greenhouse, I've been putting some of them through the seed maker in order to make 100 seeds, which, as you can see, I just did. So I was holding off on that so I could show that on screen. And I do believe now we are down to our last 6. Yes, we have 24 of 30. And I pretty much know exactly where those are all coming from, which is great. And once again, we are going to be able to get most of those this year, I think. The only one we're waiting for is for our child to grow up, which is not going to happen until year 5. So we still have lots and lots of playtime left, and we still do have some goals to meet and some things to do. It's just less and less sort of new and exciting, amazing things to sort of update on at this point. Life is just a little bit more routine, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's nice to have a routine and to feel safe, and basically gonna wait for the dark green harvest sprites to come back, and then hopefully we can expand on our greenhouse. You can see I have over $1 million now, even with a little bit of spending. But the amount that I've spent is absolutely nothing compared to the amount of money that I've made so far. And the amount of money I've made has seemed completely effortless. I haven't even done any mining or anything like that. This is mostly from the yams in the greenhouse and animal products and things like that. So even just taking care of the farm is still getting me a long way, which is great. I will probably be back sooner than later because I do believe the next wedding is coming up in only a short few days. I know that the two proposal events didn't trigger too far away from each other. So my plans for this month are the next wedding, the next set of rival events that I want to put into a video, and then the festivals is really the only things that I sort of have to talk about, because believe it or not, everything I wanted to talk about that I had jotted down on my little notepad has been covered. So yep, we're just kind of going through the motions, just going about our business, being routine, just trying to get through, and then seeing where things take us. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.